Frieza, he can't track them because they're too fast for him to track. So we have King Kai, who can track massively faster than light plus ship.
Let's see. Twitch. Sorry, Twitch. It kicked me off. That's unfortunate. Alright. We back up and running. Alright.
But he can't track Goku and Frieza's fight, as they're moving too fast for him to perceive and react to. The first MFTO plus meta would scale to base Goku, which is important because he has abilities such as Kaioken, which in this arc he can use up to times 20, amplifying his speed by 20 times as a result. And obviously he has Super Saiyan, which is a times 50 multiplier of his base. So base Goku has MFTO plus metas, and he has ways to amplify them drastically. So using these metas, Goku would be like a million times faster than the speed of light.
Yeah, so Goku's speed is what's going to destroy Luffy, and obviously his power level. Goku is insanely fast, right?
I've only seen Luffy get up to massively faster than light to that degree. I'd like to know that meta in the comments, because I don't know it. So I'm going to say Goku is drastically, massively, considerably faster than any form of Luffy that I've ever seen. Alright, so
I'm going to have to agree with him on that. Don't get me wrong. Luffy can be very powerful, and he can absolutely do some damage. I feel like he could do some damage to Goku, but Goku is a lot faster and a lot stronger than him. He beats him in all those areas.
In conclusion, who wins this matchup? And I think it's no surprise to anyone who's listened to this video that Goku wins this matchup low diff. All the One Piece higher ends are pretty much copium, and if anyone tries to use these arguments against you, then just walk away because they're like laughably bad. There's nothing to say really. And for the guys screaming Toon Force, you guys
Goji Chronic, give you this credit right here. So, kind of want to check it out, right? My thing is this, right? Let's see what some other sites say, right? In a battle between Luffy and Goku, Goku is generally considered to have the upper hand due to his superior strength, speed, and combat experience despite Luffy's impressive Gear 5 abilities. Like I said, I can't have any comments on the Gear 5 abilities because I'm not there yet, but yes, Goku's going to be way faster than whatever Luffy can do, right? But I wonder, right? This is something that I kind of theorized a little bit of a theory here. Say if Luffy got really good at jujitsu or something like that, right? And Luffy had the ability to basically take Goku's back, latch onto him, and he won't be able to get off or something like that. I was thinking, what if Luffy could pull off some like submissions or something like that on Goku, but it could not, it may not work, right? If he broke like Goku's arm or something like that. Just something I thought about, because Luffy would be perfect for jujitsu and be able to wrap around Goku in many different ways and do all kinds of things to him. But then again, Goku could do some other things too. I feel like Goku would be able to get him off of him as well. So let's look at the power levels here, right? Goku is often regarded as one of the strongest characters in anime. That is 100% true. With abilities that include Super Saiyan transformations and Ultra Instinct, which grants him unmatched speed and reflexes, like we've gone over, right? He's got I wouldn't even say fast twitch muscles. I'd say like unrealistic fast twitch muscles basically. His reflexes are just off the charts. You gotta understand too, Goku has fought Cell, right? He's fought he fought Majin Buu, right? I'm not there yet on Dragon Ball Z with Majin Buu, because I just got done with Cell. So let me just look that one up real quick. Actually, we'll go here. Did Goku fight Majin Buu? I know he did, yeah. He did. Yes, Goku fought Majin Buu in the Dragon Ball Z series. Defeated Majin Buu using a super spirit bomb from energy gathered from everyone on Earth with help from Mr. Satan. Guess Mr. Satan's gonna get some credit on that. For once. Real credit. Yo, you guys know what I mean. So, I mean, who's gonna, like, Majin Buu is an insanely powerful individual as well. Goku has fought these very, very, very big, these very powerful individuals. So, let's take a look real quick. Luffy. Enemies. Fought. Yeah, look at my English. It's great. Let's see. Kuro, Kaido, Arlong, Enel, Cracker, Doflamingo, Katakuri, Sir Crocodile. See, okay. Doflamingo, that dude was pure evil, and he was very powerful. The way he could manipulate people and do, like, he basically took over all of Dressrosa. Like, Doflamingo, I gotta say, his character sucked, but love his powers. Doflamingo is awesome with his powers. Definitely a very powerful individual. Now, Doflamingo compared to Majin Buu. I'm gonna go Majin Buu. Majin Buu is 110% gonna win that fight, right? He is, because Majin Buu can turn people into chocolate bars and things like that. That's hilarious. Katakuri, right? Katakuri is another one of my favorite enemies from One Piece. Essentially, Katakuri, his mochi powers, those are cool. Super cool. I wonder, well, actually no. See, I already know the answer to it. What would happen if Katakuri used his mochi powers on Goku? Guarantee Goku is gonna get out of it. He will get out of it. Absolutely. Yeah, Goku versus Arlong or something like that? No. Arlong is he is a naturally strong individual. He's a naturally strong person. He's a fishman and all that, but that's that's easy work for Goku. Yeah. Crocodile sand, and all you really got to do is just throw some water on the guy. Don't get me wrong, a lot of Luffy's enemies here, this is ridiculous. Like, they were pretty hard, but, like, then you got some people like, let's see, let's look up Goku enemies. We got Frieza, Colonel Silver, Colonel Violet, Cooler, Cranberry, Symbol. Garlic Jr. I'm not gonna lie, some of the people in Dragon Ball Z got some funny names. I know some of them are named after, everyday items or something like that. I love it. But Cell, though. Cell was very powerful. Once Cell had swallowed up these androids and everything. Wait a minute, what the hell is this? Bro, no way is that really Goku? Huh. There's like some Netflix animation type movie right there. But yeah. So, Cell and Majin Buu were just these freaks of nature, obviously. Cell was just swallowing people up. He swallowed up the androids and he became more powerful, right? Yeah, that guy, once he gets a hold of someone that's powerful and starts using their energy, it's all game over from there. All game over. That's it. Yep. Yeah, from right there, Cell starts getting all that power and starts being able to do whatever he wants. Yeah, no, that's it. We are done for. Let's see. And it says here, combat skills. Goku's extensive training and experience in martial arts give him a significant advantage in combat situations. His tactical skills allow him to adapt quickly to opponent strategies. Okay, so, yes, he can adapt pretty well. My question is, let me see. Can Luffy's hockey beat Goku? Because Luffy's got got hockey, right? Goku's Ultra Instinct and his ability to combat Jiren's power make him a strong contender against Luffy's Gear 5th. Yep, see, Luffy's still gonna lose on that one. He is still gonna lose on that. Let's see. Destructive capability. Goku's attacks can cause massive destruction. Yes, they absolutely can. 100% they can. And he has demonstrated the ability to destroy planets with his power. Yeah, he kind of has. That's... Say if Goku and Luffy were on a planet together and it was just those two. If Goku really wanted to, just be like, yeah, whatever, I don't want to fight you. Flies up into space, whatever. He can destroy the entire planet if he wanted to. Yeah, he can destroy the entire planet. So, but I kind of want to see what they say here with Luffy's strength. So, Luffy's Gear 5 enhances his power significantly, which allows him to manipulate surroundings and exhibit unpredictable fighting techniques. This form gives him a unique edge in creativity during battles. Okay. Maybe not against someone like Goku. Rubber body. Thanks to the Gum Gum no Mi, known as Gomu Gomu no Mi, now known as Hito Hito no Mi model Nika, Luffy's rubber-like body allows him to absorb damage and perform, or Gum Gum, yeah, okay. Damage and perform elastic attacks, making him a formidable opponent. Yes, okay. So that's one thing that I thought about. Right, let me see something real quick. Because here's my thing on this. Yes, Luffy can most definitely, absolutely, positively absorb attacks like it's nothing. I don't think he'll be able to absorb Goku's attacks. Maybe he can do it for a little bit, but definitely not for a long time. And he can get, yeah, he's not going to be able to absorb Goku's attacks because it's going to hit him and it's going to hit him hard to the point where his rubber won't be able to defend against it. So can Luffy's rubber defend against Goku well? So it says here, Luffy's rubber powers allow him to manipulate his surroundings. Yes, we know that. Malleable forms. He can... Okay, so he can use use the environment as a weapon against Goku. Ultra Instinct is... Yeah, so he's still not going to beat him. And think about this, too. I completely missed this. Luffy can't swim. Goku can, right? Goku could grab Luffy, throw him in the water, and that's it. That's all he would have to do. Or if say if Goku decided, say if Luffy decided he wanted to use the jujitsu like I was talking about, like if he just decided to use it and get on and like attach himself to Goku and start trying to do stuff to him, whatever, Goku could just be like, alright, whatever. Fly to the nearest ocean or river, pond, whatever it is, get into it, and let Luffy drown. That is all he would have to do. Completely forgot about that. Yeah. This one is pretty cut and dry with it. Let's see, I kind of want to see what other videos have to say about him, though. Videos. What do we got here? See what happens with this. Alright. Luffy just rebounded back, I guess. Let me see something. I kind of want to see Fiction Horizon, what they have to say about this. How about this? Let's go back to this. Goku versus Luffy power levels. Gear 5 versus Goku. Wait a minute, what is this? Luffy versus Goku rap battle? Okay.
Lilo and Stitch is a global phenomenon.
Where is 626? An adorable little psychopath.
See the
Best-selling manga, you're messing with number one. Don't need no gear second, I'm a weapon packing guns. Like I'm cleaning Sunny, how I'm battling the scum. Making you abandon this battle just like your son. Serving you like Sanji, you wanted before the meat's mine. Murderer by proxy, hitting Freezer with the revive. Neglect your family, only training your free time. Used to losing battles, man, you've died like 3 times. Lower class, say it, now you're messing with the Pirate King. Victory is certain, there's no other timelines where you win. Fighting for the fun of it, you're becoming an addict, spitting fire like my old...
As much as I want to actually listen to this whole thing, don't want to get copyrighted, so just got to be careful. So let's, how about this? Luffy special powers. Ohara. I like this guy. Ohara. He's definitely got some good stuff to watch. I like his
Gear
stuff.
5 has broken the anime records twice now, and even though it's already one of the most iconic transformations in anime history, there are still a ton of unanswered questions and mysteries surrounding
I'm not gonna lie, the Gum Gum fruit actually looks pretty good.
these incredible powers. And so today we're going to discuss everything that we know about Gear 5.
Yo, what's going on? Oh, Sophia artist. Oh, yep. Yeah, this is what I do. Thanks for joining the chat. I appreciate you on Twitch. Yeah, yeah, I got TikTok as well. So Here, I'll give you the TikTok. There we go.
And Luffy's mythical Sun God Nika Zone Devil Fruit. Starting with how Luffy actually awakened this legendary power in the first place. And wow, let me tell you, it seems like Luffy unlocked it by straight up dying. Because in episode 1070, Kaido absolutely crushes Luffy.
Yeah, I'm getting a massive spoiler here, by the way. Yeah, Sophia Artist, thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. Thank you, and yeah.
And our Stride captain is apparently dead for a moment here. And while this part isn't exactly
Yeah, massive spoilers for me, so I'm not even close to being here yet.
clear, Kaido sure seems to think that Luffy has died for good this time and heads down on a rampage inside the castle. Even Momonosuke claims that Luffy's voice is quote-unquote gone, and
Oof. Okay.
if Momo has the voice of all things, we should be fairly confident that Momo isn't making things up
Yeah, let me know, Sophia Artist.
right here, although there is another explanation for this that we'll discuss in just a moment. Because right after, we get this legendary smile, and with this, Joy Boy has returned. Which actually means that Luffy attack. And then, as you'll remember, just a while ago against Kaido, he used an even bigger red rockfire attack, which just completely blew my mind in the anime, by the way. And for years, many people have been theorizing that Luffy could use fire because of super hot friction, but now we finally know for sure that his fire abilities
Okay, so... yeah. If Luffy can use fire, that is going to be something... That's going to be the coolest shit ever. If Luffy actually ends up using fire. That is going to be so awesome.
most likely have just been an early example of Luffy's extraordinary Devil Fruit awakening, and basically...
Yeah, of course, Sophia Artist, you can definitely do that. You could share your profile on X.
him imagining his brother's powers. And honestly, that might just be the start of Luffy's elemental abilities, because, little spoiler warning here, Gear 5 has even allowed Luffy to grab lightning and throw it at his opponent, so...
Yo, grabbing lightning and throwing it at his opponents. So if he has fire and lightning, that is gonna be absolute hell on earth for some of his enemies.
In the future, he might even be able to manipulate other elements or even Devil Fruit abilities with his absurdly powerful new abilities.
So, if he ends up, because what was it? It said that he could potentially manipulate the environment around Goku. Goku could have some trouble with Luffy's Gear 5, right? Yeah, this could be some trouble for him.
However, there are some very important and severe drawbacks and limitations to this ability that we simply have to discuss as well, including one that might actually change Luffy forever. But first, even though it's explained that Luffy is only limited by his imagination basically, it is definitely not an unlimited power. For example, he cannot just quote-unquote imagine that Kaido is defeated and it will automatically happen. So,
Yeah.
it isn't an instant win, wish for anything kind of condition. Also, the Gear 5 powers seem mostly contained to Luffy's body or things that he seems to be touching, so he cannot just snap his fingers and change the world, at least not.
Yeah, no, he really can't. I mean, Goku can, though. He can quite literally do that. He can change the world permanently. He can make the world disappear if he wanted to.
Yes, which actually brings us to the very crucial fact that much like Luffy's earlier gear transformations, Gear 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, when Luffy uses his awakened powers, it does seem to dramatically drain his stamina and possibly even his lifespan. In fact, we even see him...
Yeah, no, so here's the deal with that. Luffy's stamina gets drained really quickly. Like, very fast. But, I mean, all you gotta give Luffy is, like, a lot of meat, and he's good to go, bounces right back into action. Luffy can eat. I swear, Luffy's got a very, very, very high metabolism.
Comment that he only has a few minutes to use this power and also witness a terrifying transformation into an old man during a break in the fighting. But all of this is nothing compared to one other potential danger of Luffy's awakening, because remember when we said that Luffy seemed to die before he awakened his powers? Well, one theory about Luffy's awakening is that he actually did die, and then the spirit of his devil fruit somehow took over Luffy's
The spirit of the devil fruit took over Luffy's body? Alright.
body. And there's actually some real evidence supporting this, such as Luffy's heartbeat clearly changing and his uncontrollable laughter while using this new form. I mean,
The uncontrollable laughter? That sounds... Alright, that's already gonna sound very psychopath-like.
even the giant elephant Sunisha comments that this is the first time that they have heard Luffy's unique sounding heartbeat in over 800 years. And then they even make it absolutely clear that Joy Boy, their old comrades, has once and for all returned. So while this hasn't been clearly explained even in the manga at this point, it is possible that by dying, Luffy somehow allowed the spirit of Joy Boy to literally enter his body.
Joy Boy. Let's look this guy up. Joy Boy. Do that. Go to this. Spirit of Joy Boy. Joy Boy has been noted to strike a strong resemblance to Monkey D. Luffy by Emmett. It's only been shown us. She appeared to be wearing a wide-brimmed hat resembling a straw hat. Pretty pants. Oh, so he's just like Luffy. Okay. Hey, this is all news to me, everybody. Hey, I'm learning a lot here from O'Hara.
And bring Luffy back to life. Which, yeah, does sound weird, but do have to also consider that devil fruits do seem to have a will of their own, so the spirit of Joy Boy may have been living inside the devil fruit for all these hundreds of years, just waiting for the right person to finally awaken these abilities. Now, you may be asking, why is this supposed to be dangerous for Luffy? Well, when we first see this transformation, it is a little bit scary to see Luffy laughing maniacally like this right here, and it does seem that he literally cannot stop laughing. So we have to at least consider the idea that Luffy's awakening has
Okay. So, Luffy's awakening, huh? And alter his person. That is... Okay, that's insane. Ancient spirit coming in and altering his personality.
Some ancient spirit come in and alter his personality here, which might very well be the reason why Momo felt that Luffy's voice disappeared, because it is possible that his voice just completely changed once he unlocked Gear 5. And while this might sound unlikely,
Yeah. Definitely going into different realms with Gear 5 from what it looks like. Sorry, just had to sit there and think about it for a minute.
who really knows what could be possible with these new abilities, although one thing that we have been shown throughout the entire series is that whenever Luffy unlocks a new ability, such as Gear 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, at first at least, Luffy has some very serious drawbacks, like a time limit or turning into a chibi Luffy, but eventually he then masters the new power and can use it without much limitation.
Okay. Let's go over to Goku. You know what? We'll just finish this video up and then we'll
And so maybe
with that.
the same will happen for Gear 5 in the future as well, which could lead to an even more powerful Luffy in the future, even though this is likely his last major gear upgrade for now. But before we get into all the insane
Yeah, I can't even imagine what his next gear upgrade is going to be. What Gear 6 could potentially be like.
shadowing and future importance of Gear 5 for the story and the anime, let's discuss for a moment here the history of this actual Devil Fruit. Because we knew all the way back at the start of the story that Shanks and his crew stole this legendary Devil Fruit from a world's government ship. And so the world...
When Luffy ate the Devil Fruit, Shanks was shocked. Like, holy shit, he just ate that.
government did have it at some point, which always made me wonder why they had it in the first place. Well, thankfully, we've recently had some more context about this from Who's Who was one of the CP9 agents on that ship, and since this was CP9 with the Devil Fruit, it does make me believe that they were sent on a specific mission to find and retrieve this Devil Fruit. And so it seems
I
like the
believe
world
that too.
government has been hunting this fruit, which was actually 100% confirmed in this episode.
Oh, it was. Okay.
When the Elder Stars tell us that the world government has been trying and failing to acquire this fruit for 800 years. Wow. Imagine
800 years, and Luffy happens to stumble upon it as a kid, and he chows down on that thing completely.
searching for.
No wonder Shanks. Not only did Shanks freak out because he's like, "Oh my God, what did Luffy just eat?" But why did he just eat that? The thing that we've been holding for the longest time, but he ate something that they've been trying to search for 800 years.
Anything for that long, having finally found it, and then losing it when some pirates steal it from your ship. However, then we also have to ask ourselves why they wanted it so badly, but I think we can clearly see the answer to that.
Because Luffy is an absolute wrecking rubber ball, to be exact.
Question in this episode. Not only is it simply an insane power strength-wise that apparently hasn't been awoken ever since.
It's clearly an absolute destructive power to have, like, as a good thing. And when it comes to defense too, when people are shooting bullets at you, hey, this is it.
Since the Void Century, but the government must also be worried about some secret abilities that we still don't know about. And honestly, it could very well be related to the One Piece itself. We'll discuss more about that in a moment, but the government were so scared of someone unlocking its true powers
Because they could destroy the government with it. I could see that happening.
that they even changed the Devil Fruit's official name to the Gomu Gomu no Mi to keep people away from it. But now that Luffy has awakened it, we're going to see exactly why they have been trying to claim it and keep it secret for all these years.
Yep.
However, not everybody seem to be.
I can see why the government wanted it. And, yeah, potentially see why the government could keep it hidden. They would definitely want to keep this hidden.
As thrilled with Luffy's new powers, especially the reveal that we had his Devil Fruit wrong all this time for over 20 years. And while admittedly it isn't the most clearly foreshadowed twist in One Piece,
That's kind of a cool piece of art right there.
there are absolutely scenes throughout the story that we can point to that might have very well hinted at these legendary powers. And of course, it all begins with the very first image that we have of the newly awakened Joy Boy. And if you're thinking that this
The newly awakened Joy Boy. That is so cool, Joy Boy.
image looks familiar, well, that would be because we've seen a very similar pose multiple times in the story. For example, it shows up twice in both of the bonfire scenes on Skypiea. So clearly, this pose was already established way back in the story, and this is
So it was. Okay.
even more important when you consider the context of the Skypiea arc. Really, the entire point of this adventure was to free the Skypiean people from the false god Enel, and how does Luffy do that?
I'm not gonna lie, this part here made my wife and I laugh. The way they were dancing at the fire.
Because, well, ultimately, he wins the final clash by breaking up the dark clouds to allow the sun to shine down on the praying people below. And now,
Yep.
if that isn't super important foreshadowing for Luffy being the literal sun god, then I do not know what is. Besides, the concept of the dawn is
Luffy being the sun god. That's a new one. That is something I thought I'd never hear. Alright.
huge symbolic device in all of One Piece, and Luffy's victories are often paralleled with the sun literally rising, like on Thriller Bark, or a dark period on an island's history finally ending,
Thriller Bark was crazy as hell.
like on Alabasta or Dressrosa. Plus, we've already
Alabasta and Dressrosa. Massive battles, massive casualties. Wow.
mentioned Luffy's fire powers being possible because of Gear 5, but there have also been other examples of very strange abilities that may have foreshadowed that his powers were more than simple rubber. For example, Luffy's crazy attack Culverin allows him to bend his rubber multiple times
That's pretty cool. If he can bend his rubber multiple times,
mid-air. Now, many opponents such
Doflamingo obviously has no idea what to do right there.
as Doflamingo and even Kaido Kaido had remarked that rubber simply shouldn't be able to do this, but now it was likely because of Luffy's true awakening all along, Gear 4 being a kind of pre-step to that. But really, that's not the only bit of foreshadowing for this ridiculous power-up, because in fact, way back during the Impel Down...
So just thinking about it, even with that right there, I think Luffy'd be able to give Goku some trouble. He could probably turn some things on Goku that would probably get some... he would be able to land some shots on Goku for sure. But beating him, still questionable. Very questionable. Still got my money on Goku on that.
Luffy is talking to these random prisoners, and they even go as far as to say that he must be sent here by destiny. Which makes way more sense later on when we get to see the very first mention of Sun God Nika in episode 1040 during Jinbei's fight against Who's Who. That's
Nika?
Because this former member of CP9 was once imprisoned in Impel Down, and it was during his time in that...
Impel Down was crazy too. That whole breakout and everything. All the prisoners went there. All the prisoners got on the ship, went to go rescue Ace. That was a huge battle. That was one of the coolest. That was definitely the coolest One Piece battle ever. The full-on war right there.
Prison that he learned from other prisoners that they sometimes pray to the Sun God Nika, who would supposedly free the prisoners and slaves. Which just
That
adds
makes sense.
so much needed context to this scene with Luffy talking to these prisoners here. Which now of course brings us to the real purpose of Luffy's awakening and the true nature of his devil fruit. Now we've already discussed that the Sun God Nika is a legendary figure who freed the slaves, and it
Kind of resembles Luffy in a lot of ways.
it's very likely that this figure was also the original Joy Boy from the Void Century, since Sunisha told us that Joy Boy had returned right when Luffy awakened his...
I need to buy some of these manga. They definitely go into some good detail.
fruit. And honestly, I personally don't really think that Luffy is literally the old Joy Boy reincarnated. Instead, it's much more likely that Luffy has simply inherited his will and will continue to carry out the task that the old Joy Boy never managed to complete.
Yeah, and we can expect that to be a good thing.
And so we of course have to ask, what exactly is that task and that promise that he never meant to keep? Well, it's the exact same thing that Luffy has been doing all throughout the story.
Yeah, I see that.
Freeing islands and liberating oppressed people. In fact, the only thing that we know for a fact that the old Joy Boy truly wanted to do was a promise that he left on a poneglyph on Fishman Islands.
You know, yeah, Luffy's very well known for freeing people and liberating islands and creating peace. Like, he has spread peace everywhere. Like, no pun intended on that, but he has quite literally brought peace to a lot of places. And I mean, he punched the shit out of a celestial dragon, which was awesome to watch. We all got happy with that, and you know, Boa Hancock has got the hots for him for doing that.
And while we don't know for 100% sure, we can very much assume that this promise was to bring the fishmen up to the surface where they could live in peace. And so if Luffy's going to complete the task that was unfinished by the previous Joy Boy, it will very likely involve liberating the world and all of the oppressed races, such as the fishmen, the Minks, the dwarves, and many, many other people. In fact, Luffy's return as Joy Boy may have even been left in a prophecy along with the legendary treasure on Laugh Tale, and that's because when Roger finally found the One Piece, all he and his men could do was laugh at what they had found. The former pirate king even states
Laughing at what you found? Oof, I wonder what that means.
that he wished he could have lived in the time of Joy Boy, and he also knew that the One Piece treasure somehow couldn't be used until 20 years into the future. But now that Luffy has finally awakened, we assume that the prophesized time has finally come, and Luffy will be able to use whatever the first Joy Boy actually left behind on Laugh Tale, which...
Okay, so yeah, obviously spoiling it for me, but Joy Boy, like he said, Joy Boy is just basically here to finish what needs to be finished. And he sees Luffy as someone who's just like him, and he's just gonna carry out the mission. It's actually, you know, when two minds think alike like that, I mean, hey, might as well team up.
will ultimately result in a final battle against either the Darkness Fruit user Blackbeard or the secret ruler of the world government, Emu. By the way, Luffy's Gear 5 transformation, funnily enough, is completely white, which is the exact opposite of Blackbeard's darkness, as well
That I could see something with that.
as Emu's black outfit that we always see them wearing. And of course, we have to assume because of the epic powers of this Devil Fruit that Luffy will surely come out on top of this final world-changing clash and save the world, which is exactly why the Nika Fruit made it into my top 5 most overpowered Devil Fruits in One Piece. And if you want to know which fruits are...
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say this right now. Luffy's gonna absolutely obliterate Blackbeard. Remember, I haven't seen the new... I'm not up to date right now with One Piece. I just got done with Whole Cake Island, right? And doing the episodes after that right now. So it's taking me a little bit, but yeah, we're getting there. And I'm actually really excited to see what can happen. It is so awesome just to think that Luffy was just setting out on an adventure on his own, and this is how much powerful he has gotten since then. This is awesome. That's why I love these stories.
even more powerful than this one, you can watch that video right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
See you in the
We're
next one.
Phoenix Energy, a family-owned oil.
Let's see. Goku special powers. Let's see. It's a 37-minute video. Wow. I don't want to see this. How strong is Super Goku? Official Divine.
Son Goku, a Saiyan from Earth whose goal is to become the strongest mortal in the universe. Goku's strength has increased drastically over time, surpassing characters like Frieza, who had enough power to blow up Namek that was seen from a galactic range.
Oh yeah.
The embodiment of perfection, Cell, who's been stated multiple times to have infinite and bottomless strength.
Yeah, because he could suck up as many people as he wanted and just outright destroy them. Outright destroy everybody.
Grim Reaper of Justice, Gotenks, who can scream out of dimensions and warp reality simply by existing, and the personification of evil itself, Majin Buu.
Majin Buu is definitely one of my all-time favorite characters out of anime, everything ever. Majin Buu is awesome. Like, it's gonna go Luffy, Goku, Majin Buu. Yeah, those are like my top 3 right now. I got a whole list. I'll have to go over that whole list one day in a video, but yeah, stay tuned for that one.
Buu possesses enough power to collapse the universe with alternate dimensions and even threaten the Grand Kai world, which is a universal-sized planet full of mass. Destroying this can become...
Oh. See, that I'm not there yet. So, all right.
out to octillions of times universal. And now Son Goku is entering into the realm of the gods, and far beyond them. At the beginning of Dragon Ball Super, Goku is the strongest fighter on Earth, concluding the defeat
Not on Super yet, so don't have much of a comment on that one.
of the personification of evil, Majin Buu. Goku continues to train, but unknowing to him, an even greater power has awoken after 39 years. Beerus, the god of destruction, is traveling throughout the universe, destroying
The God of Destruction. I can only imagine what's going to happen with that.
everything in sight. But then he remembers. 39 years ago, Beerus was told by the Oracle Fish that a being will arise that will become his rival. A Saiyan enveloped in divine energy. A Super Saiyan God.
A Super Saiyan God. Let's see how that one goes.
Beerus learns of the existence of the strongest Saiyan and travels to confront Son Goku. Goku also learns of the existence of Beerus the Destroyer, and this gets his Saiyan blood pumping to test his power against the god. Goku and the
Wow, Goku's going to go up that ladder.
Destroyer are now face to face, and Goku challenges Beerus using the pinnacle of Saiyan power, the Saiyan equal to heaven, Super Saiyan 3. As in this form, Goku's able to shake the entire afterlife by transforming alone. Beerus accepts this challenge, and what happens next nobody saw coming, as Beerus was able to defeat Super Saiyan
He just flicked him off. That's it. Just flicked him.
3 Goku in only 3 blows, with Goku himself stating that not even fusion would be enough to overcome the Destroyer's strength, meaning even a hypothetical Super Saiyan 3
Clearly not.
Vegito would fall to the Destroyer. Goku decides the only way to win is to find this Super Saiyan God. The Z-Fighters asked the most knowledgeable being on the planet, yet stepped into a whole nother world, tearing apart the fabric of the universe, and no, not just the living universe, but the entirety of Universe 7.
Oh boy.
It was stated
Universe 7. Huh. Well, I got some research to do with that one.
by Old Kai, who resides in the Kaioshin realm that exists outside of the entire macrocosm, that everything would be destroyed if they clash a few more times. The Universe 7 macrocosm is a collection of 7 different space-times, with each one having their own dimensions.
Okay.
Every realm in the Dragon Ball universe is stated to be infinite in size in the afterlife, and
Yo, so every realm in the Dragon Ball universe is infinite in size. That is crazy. That is just... So how many other planets, how many other powerful enemies are there?
particular is stated to be a transcendental realm above the mortal universe, and was even stated to be beyond the concepts of space and time multiple times. Goku and Beerus were going to destroy all of this into absolute nothingness just by clashing fists. Goku figures out
Clashing fists and destroying the universe. Wow.
a way to nullify the destructive energy of the clashes and saves the entirety of Universe 7 from being destroyed. Goku later in the fight eventually loses his god form, however the divine energy has not left his body and instead infuses itself into Goku's being. Goku even demonstrates this as the most devastating attack thrown in the entire battle by Beerus that Old Kai
That looks painful.
states would destroy everything, is completely annihilated by a single punch from base form Goku. Beerus informs Goku after their battle that
Beerus looks pretty cool.
there are other gods of destructions in other universes, which gets his Saiyan blood pumping even more as he wants to test his power into the multiverse. Goku ends up training with Whis, the attendant.
See, that's what I love about Goku, right? And the same thing with Luffy. They have this mindset of, I just want to get better, better, better. Keep going, and keep going. That is pretty freaking cool.
And teacher of Beerus the Destroyer, and obtains a new transformation that he shows off against Golden Frieza. This new power is explained to be a Super Saiyan God tapping into the power of a Super Saiyan. The mix of the fiery red aura of a god and the blinding light of a Super Saiyan produces a new color, Super Saiyan Blue. Goku ends up fighting against these new universes.
That looked like Winnie the Pooh almost.
Best
Kinda
fighters,
cool.
and interestingly enough, it's against the 6. Universe 6 is stated to be almost identical to the 7th, with the gods of destruction of both 6 and 7.
So let me see something.
The ability to wipe away any universe they want by just closing their hand. Goku convinces them to let him fight everyone. Months later,
I cannot wait to get to Super, because this is a whole different kind of, wow. This is a whole different kind of story right here. This right here is just showing Goku just keeps getting more powerful as time goes on, and his powers are just becoming unmatched. Like the thing with Goku is this. He finds someone who is more powerful than him, and he wants to fight him, right? And he wants to get better, because he knows if he fights that person, he's going to get better more and more and more, no matter how badly he gets his shit wrecked. So this is pretty cool. I like how he's always, like, him and Luffy are the same way. They act the exact same way.
Verse 7 arrives at the Tournament of Power, where 12 universes collect 10 fighters to defend their universe for survival, as the universes that are knocked out will be erased without a second thought. The strongest fighter in the Tournament of Power isn't Son Goku, it's a fighter from the 11th. Jiren
Fighter from the 11th.
the
Okay.
Gray, a mortal who surpassed his own god of destruction, and has multiple statements and guides that say he surpassed all of them. With
This dude looks like an absolute goon. Like, he's just gonna wreck everything.
Jiren just releasing his power within the infinite void confirms the suspicions of put the Super Saiyan God when Toppo with a single destruction blast was able to manipulate the entirety of the world of Void. Goku is able to unlock Ultra Instinct yet again in his fight with the Universe 6 Saiyans who used a Patara to become Kefla, as she states she is powerful enough to one-shot an entire universe. Goku, still learning the ins and outs of Ultra Instinct, is able to put her on a t-shirt, and probably the best finisher in all of anime history. Goku unlocks Ultra Instinct for the final time and is now face-to-face with Jiren the Gray. Once again,
Really?
when that silver glow leaves his eyes,
Yeah. Goku's just insanely powerful.
The battle will be over. As Goku fights, his Ultra Instinct is progressing, getting sharp on him. But Jiren isn't done either as he breaks through his limits as well. And Goku and Jiren have the ultimate battle for the fates of both of their universes. For the fates of all of them. The difference between their powers is that Jiren is fighting alone, and Goku distance to unlock a power beyond the gods in only 45 minutes. The power of the low-class warrior. The power of Son Goku. In the end, Goku has come a long way since his battle with the God of Destruction, and now possesses power to wipe away universes in his base form alone. But instead,
Oh my
he decides
lord.
to...
So he has the ability to wipe away universes. Yeah, Luffy's done for. Yeah, Luffy doesn't stand a chance. One Piece, my favorite show. Then it comes Dragon Ball Z. Luffy's done for.
to protect, to defend the weak, because he's the god of destruction, and now possesses power to wipe away universes in his base form alone. But instead, he decides to protect, to defend the weak, because he's the...
See? Just had to repeat that one for a second right there. Yeah. Luffy, yeah. Yeah, Luffy's done for.
hope of the universe, the answer to all living things that cry out for peace. He is the protector of the innocent, the light in the darkness. He is truth. Son Goku, ally to good, nightmare to you. What's up, guys?
Yeah. Official Divine, which his video, right, that I was just commenting on, he broke this down perfectly. Hats off to Official Divine on that, and great understanding with all this, right? So, what is it really, right? Let's talk about it. We basically see it all. We see everything. And Goku versus Luffy. Who's gonna win in a real fight? Goku. One Piece is my favorite show, but Goku's gonna destroy him. Goku has the ability to wipe out universes if he wants to. He has the ability to wipe out planets, let alone, right? Goku, his abilities are far more advanced than whatever Luffy has. Luffy's done for. Coming to the whole conclusion of all this, yeah. Luffy's pretty much going to... Yeah. I don't even... If I were to predict how long it would last, the fight between Goku and Luffy, I'm going to say probably 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Most. At most. Luffy would survive. Maybe survive. Not even have a chance. Survive. Goku is ridiculously strong. Insanely strong. And Luffy gets stronger too. Luffy gets a lot more skilled with his powers as well. But Goku does that too at a much higher rate, and his powers are just absolutely... They're almost like God. They're godlike compared to what Luffy's gonna have. Luffy's almost... It's like at this point like Super Goku, right? Which I'm not there yet. It seems like Super Goku... Yeah, it's from a whole nother world compared to what Luffy has. Luffy's powers are kind of like from a Marvel comic, which I'm not even gonna... I don't even want to entertain the idea of comparing Marvel to One Piece. Not at all. Not a fan of Marvel. Not my thing at all. And to compare it to One Piece? No. That's not what I'm doing here. But it's kind of like that, right? And then you got this unworldly power from Goku. So, yeah. Let's see. Kind of want to see some other stuff here. What else we got? It's my dog behind me. What you doing, buddy? Let's check this out. This is some awesome artwork here. Whoever did the artwork here for this, outstanding. Yeah. This is... Let me see. Real quick. From Anime Horizon here. Monkey D. Luffy's the protagonist. Yeah, there's no... Oh, yeah, and hey, Goku can become a giant monkey, too. But Luffy has taken down giants. I know this is just Luffy, but like some of Luffy's pirate crew has taken down giants before, too. But Luffy's taken down some huge opponents, but when Goku turned into the monkey, that was, yeah, that was something that you're just like, wow, that's kind of cool that he could do that. Let me see. Goku's main abilities is his exceptional learning ability. In fact, over time, he has learned it very... Yeah, no. Goku has a ton of techniques that he has learned. Like, there's so many different kinds, right? And not saying that Luffy doesn't, right? Because Luffy obviously has several different kinds of techniques as well, right? But Goku's techniques are just something just unworldly. It's unreal. Let me see. All his energy if someone grabbed his tail. Yeah, so that's another thing too. And because Goku ended up cutting his tail off, and he had to do that because, well, people would grab his tail and that was it. Right? And, well, he also had to cut it off because he kept turning into the monkey, but yeah, that's really all you have to do. You grab his tail and Goku's done for, like, immediately with that. So, let me see. Let's check this out here. Let's try. Yes, so this is kind of what I was saying too. With Goku being a Saiyan, right? What he has, his strength and resistance, is completely unmatched to whatever human being will ever have, right? And yeah, see right here, and it says Goku was classified as a warrior of the lowest level since he was one of the individuals weaker than his people. So he was still, he could still do some damage, right? Yeah. Quickly much stronger than normal Earthlings. Yeah, I know. See, and that's the thing, like I was saying earlier, Goku can become a lot stronger, a lot faster. Luffy got stronger faster too. He became way more skilled. But Goku, like I said before, Goku's powers, yeah, can't even match it to Luffy's. And think about this too, like you got Luffy who eats a devil fruit power, right? And he eats he eats a devil fruit, and then he ends up as he does that, right? He gets his powers, does all that, goes through the hero's journey, right? Levels up, becomes more powerful. Goku comes from a different planet, right? Raised on Earth, and he goes through the hero's journey too. He's already got some power, right? Lowest level, as we all know, lowest level warrior, as it was just stated. But now he goes through the hero's journey as well to level up, and we go from there. So yeah, Goku is yeah, they both went through it. Luffy and Goku both did it. Let's see. Gear Fourth. So let me see. The Gum Gum fruit presenting itself. In terms of energy, the Gear Fourth is. Oh, so he can't use hockey for 10 minutes. Oh, wait a minute. I think I did see that. Yeah, Gear Fourth. Okay. I see. Yes, the Gear Second right here, when he pumps the blood through his limbs and everything, that is super cool. Yeah, speeding up his metabolism. Hey, wouldn't it be great to have the metabolism of Luffy and just eat, eat, eat? That'd be awesome. And Goku does the same thing. Both Goku and Luffy, I stuttered right there so bad, sorry about that. Both Goku and Luffy eat a ton. That is so true. So, overall, I think what it's going to come down to, Goku is going to beat Luffy. There's a lot of evidence to present the reason as to why. Yep. Well, everyone, it is time for me to go. Thanks for tuning into the live stream. I appreciate y'all. Sorry about the whole connection cutting off and everything. It just happened. And yeah, it's just, I don't know what happened with that. It looks like my Twitch stream started back over, but yeah. I appreciate you all tuning in to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for saying what's up. Right? I'm going to start getting the chats enabled here into OBS, and we're going to go from there. Alright, guys. I will see you in the next stream.